right. Well, the market open is with us, and so let's just quickly take stock of what the start is looking like. It's red. Well, how much red? 22,600 something is what the opening ticks look like. 661. So this is not bad. 90 points down. The support comes in at 22,600. That's the 40 hourly exponential average. We're down about 80 points. Nifty Bank is down about 1/3%. 165 points down. 48,815. Mid-cap index is down about 1/4, and I think we've got the small-cap index, which also is mildly in the red. But all about stocks, as always, Sonia has got all the rates. Sonia.
Well, thanks a lot for that. So you started by saying that the Nifty is under pressure, and that's, you can see it here, 80 points lower now. Just hanging on to that 22,650 mark. But let's take it to individual stocks. We have TCS's numbers later this evening, so let's see how the stock is doing right now. It's down about 0.5% because we are expecting some margin pressure on the business, and overall as well, it's expected to be a lackluster quarter for the entire IT sector. Barely 1.5% growth is what we're looking at in constant currency terms. So the stock is down about 0.5%. Sun Pharma, we were expecting some pressure there because the US FDA has conducted inspections at the company's Dadra plant. The stock is now under a lot of pressure, down 2.5%. So keep an eye out there. Metropolis is also in focus. The Q4 revenue growth has come in at 10%. The core business revenue growth is quite strong, actually. That's a big move on Metropolis, 6% higher now on that stock. Core business revenue growth of 15% is what we've seen. Vodafone Idea is down about 1%. There's the 18,000 crore FPO that will open on the 18th of April and close on the 22nd. BEL and Cummins are in focus. Macquarie put out a note where they said that BEL and Cummins are their most preferred industrial picks. So I'm looking at both those stocks well in the green right now. Volumes are also picking up over there. Credit Access Grameen is another one that I'm looking at this morning. Goldman Sachs has initiated buy. They have a target of 1,788 on the stock. The stock is seeing a big move right now, but still below the target price that Goldman Sachs has. So maybe some more headroom over there. A lot of these consumption names continue to hit new highs, whether it's Interglobe Aviation, whether it's Zomato. You had United Spirits that was at a fresh high on Wednesday as well. So just keep an eye out on some of these names consolidating around their all-time highs or 52-week highs rather, but some traction in many of these names. Phoenix Mills is another one I'm looking at this morning. Total consumption went up 27% for Phoenix Mills in Q4 at 2,818 crores. So that stock is up almost about 3%. And then finally, Tata Motors is in focus as well. It has been holding well above the 1,000 rupee mark. So very, very strong for Tata Motors. This morning, there is news that the electric vehicle arm is in a pact with Shell for charging stations. And this is important because, it sort of alleviates concerns about range anxiety. And that's one of the reasons why adoption of EVs is not picking up. So if there are more charging stations, then, of course, EV sales will go up. And hence, Tata Motors is up almost about 1%. But back to you guys, it's not a bad opening at all. The Nifty is actually getting back to closer to the 22,700 mark.
Well, that's right, Sonia. A few stocks that are moving around, though, on rather large volumes. We have CAMS. That one's up close to around 4-5%, I think, the last time I checked. So that one had a good opening. Ramco Systems, the stock had a very good day on Wednesday on the back of that multi-dollar deal that they had signed with Korean Air. Today as well, Ramco Systems, one of the top volume gainers after, I think, the 15-20% gain that we saw on Wednesday. The stock is up another 5%. Reliance Infra, the stock was down 20% after the Supreme Court reversed their 8,000 crore award to DMRC. Today as well, it's opened up gap down. I think there are pending sellers out there, so keep an eye out on that one. That stock is under pressure. Vodafone Idea, you have details on the FPO that's flashing for you on the screen. The floor price is fixed at around 10 rupees odd. So that's the reason why, in fact, the stock has opened up a little bit low. So that FPO pricing has come. That's a fresh piece of news out there. Interglobe, I'll keep an eye out on that stock, particularly towards the end of trade. The weight in the MSCI is set to increase today. And approximately, $55 million worth of inflows are expected. So towards the end of trade, you should keep an eye out on that stock. Though there are a couple of downgrades that are coming there. From Axis Capital as well, there was a downgrade. And I think from Investec, that was the other one that I was looking at. So that stock is, a little under the weather, but it could bounce back later in the trading session. A few more notable movers in the early morning trade. You have Ashiana Housing. The stock is up close to around 8%. It's coming as one of the top winners today. So just highlighting that stock. And I think that's par for the course in terms of the top movers at the start of trade. Metropolis, look at that big move out there. Hindustan Copper continues to buck the trend, 4.5% higher. Prashant.
Absolutely, and that's the second largest volume-led gainer right now on the in the market. So that's a big one, right? 374 or so is where that is. Bharat Electronics, I think, is my colleagues highlighted 2.25%, 2.33% higher. That's the biggest volume-led gainer. Irida is coming up with a 2.5% pop. Again, large volumes. Metropolis 6%. CAMS is up 5%. CAMS is at 3,200, so that's looking very good. So Idea may be a little down in that FPO, but Indus Tower, which I think saw, not a downgrade, but there was a call, I think, on Wednesday, which said that, well, it's kind of priced to perfection now after the rally, etc. Indus Tower is starting up another, I think, 2% or so, 1.5%. CDSL is up 2% as well. So some of these capital market plays are looking good. HEG is up about 2.33%. HEG was a mover on Wednesday, the last trading session as well. Thanla Solutions saw a very large move on Wednesday. It went from $900 to almost 1,000 rupees in a single session. That is Wednesday. Ramco Systems was another big mover. So some of these are just pure momentum moves, right? So Ramco, for example, from 300 on Wednesday, it went to 340. So that was a large, near 10% move. It's starting up once again. Maharashtra Seamless is starting 7% higher. Look at the volumes there, which will come up. Sona Comstar is up about 4.33% there. Sula is up 3%. Sula saw a very decent session last Wednesday. Phoenix Limited, Castrol. Castrol was up 7 or 8% on Wednesday. And I think, 225 coming through there. Crystal, we had the facilities management company in the morning, 4% reacting to earnings. Lal Path Labs, I can go on. And by the way, the list of volume-led gainers is pretty long. I mean, right out of the gate, it's not lacking for volumes one bit. So looking very, very good on that particular front. Reliance Infrastructure is down another 20%. So there was that arbitral award, which went against it. I mean, essentially the court said, well, a court ruled against them. It was down 20 on Wednesday. It's down another 20. So there are some exits taking place there. And look at the volumes for this point in the day, which are looking good as well. Policy Bazaar, which went up on Tuesday and Wednesday, is seeing a bit of a pullback. So this is, just the start. On the downside as well, action is picking up, although market breadth is positive.